Okay, welcome to Laser Engraved Solutions. I am doing this video for a friend of mine, but I thought that it might include some stuff that some other beginners with Lightburn might find useful. If you do, that's great. Love to see you subscribe and give me a thumbs up. If you don't, just keep on scrolling. You'll find something else. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start out with uh, coasters. We're going to make coasters. So the first thing that we need to have is some sort of jig to hold the coasters in our laser. And I've already created a jig. Let's see, we want to go with a 4-inch round coaster. Okay, so here is my jig file. As you can see, it's got 4 spots for the round 4-inch coasters. And it also has an inner circle, which I believe is 5 millimeters, and it kind of is for the edges of the coaster. So you want to keep your design inside that. Okay, so I've also put these crosshairs in, and that's easy to make with just a couple of circles and a line. That makes it easy for us to later on, after we've cut out this file here, we've cut this out in a piece of wood, which the whole thing is 261 millimeters by 268, so it's almost square. So let's see, 261 would be 261, roughly 10 1/4 inches. So it's about 10 inches by 10 inches, almost square, but not quite. So we've got this, and we need to burn this. Okay, we need to cut out these circles, the outer circles. We need to engrave the toolpath line around here that gives us a line, and our bullseyes, so that we can reline this later on. I will link this file. It'll be available in my gumroad shop, and there'll be a link for it in the description, and you can grab it. And of course, it won't say Laser Engraved Solutions, just say the coaster jig 4 inches at the bottom. Okay, so once you burn that, you will end up with a piece of wood. And let me switch to, close that. Okay, so that's the piece of wood for the coasters on my laser, which I have a Creality CR Falcon 10 watt. Okay, so what we're going to do, what I suggest, let me go back to my window capture, my display capture rather. Okay, what I like to do is start with a new file. So I'm going to just click on the new file thing here. And let's zoom in. Okay, so I've got some stencils already set up. Let's see. I'm going to grab a K. Oh, so it follows the mouse. All right, cool. All right, so I want to, this is already grouped. So I like to work on this outside of the work area so that it's easier to grab and it doesn't have any you don't have any lines or anything else to worry about. We'll come over here on the side and we'll click on the text tool. And then we'll click inside here, my last name, Cluse, and then we'll go back up here and we'll click the select tool. That will give me, and I'm going to change the font to, oh, I don't know, I don't have the actual font that I want, so I'm just going to go with the Arial. Nah, I don't like that. Let's go with the script something or other. Let's go with this one. Now, you see that we've got all these boxes around it. These boxes allow us to do things like move. Okay, so we can make that larger. Set this on a fill path, which the whole thing is going to end up being on a fill path. So we'll click on that, and I'm going to put that on the fill path as well. So select it all. You grab from the top left and you pull it down. Now that puts a red box around it. Now everything is selected. And then if you come up here, you can group the selection. So we're going to group it. Okay. You'll know that it did it because it grays it out after you've grouped it. So now the only thing that's available is to ungroup it. But now this allows us to shrink our thing down to whatever size we want. Okay, so typically now I will save this, go back down into my work surface. I will save this. And in the meantime, I'm going to hit, let's see, edit, and we can copy it, which is the same as Control C. So we'll copy it. Now I'm going to go back to open my round coaster set. Okay, so we've got that, and we want to paste it. So I'm going to go up here to edit and then paste. And you can see that it put it up here. And when we get over the middle one, the middle box, you can see it turns it into 4 arrows going up, down, left, and right. That allows us to grab it and move it. And now we've got it in our work surface. So now we can use these corners to size it and get it where we want. Okay. Now, if we have snap to grid set in our settings, it will show us when we're in the very center. See how the cursor changed right there? It changed to a circle with 4 lines coming off of it. That means it's exactly in the center. And we can verify that by clicking on one of the lines. You can see that the cursor has changed to a squiggly line. You can hit Shift or Control. I hit Shift and I go to the inner line and click again. So now I've got the inner line is moving in the marquee fashion, and all of our actual coaster is in the marquee. Now we can come up here to align And we can align V center. Notice it didn't move. And H center. If it was off, it would have moved it into the right spot. It would have centered it inside the inner circle. So that's done. Now we can click anywhere in there because it's all grouped. And now we can hit Control D and we can drag this one over to here. And then you see that it changed. Boom, that one's done. Hit Control D. Now we can drag it down. It's changed. And I hit Control D twice, so it made an extra one. So there we go. There's all 4 of our coasters, all ready to go. So I'm going to save this file. Save as. Okay, so now I need to move the camera. Let's see, I need to go to the Falcon camera and stop this. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to align our laser, which I already have it lined up. But basically what we do, okay, so now we want to center the laser. So I'm going to click on the map icon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the map, which is right here. And then I'm going to tell it to go to the very center of this. And that will determine if our jig, the wood, is in the exact center. Okay, so now the laser is right in the very center. You can hit on the move tab the fire at 1.25%. You probably can't see it, but it's pretty well right where I need it. To verify, you can also use the map tool and go to the center of any one of your coaster areas. Okay, and I will send the laser back home. And it's going to focus in on that. So now would be the time that you load up your coasters. Into your jig. And then you come over to now your cuts and layers. Now it depends. You probably should have already done a burn test to find out what level of engraving you want. I'm doing 4,000 millimeters a minute at 80% power. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. I'm doing 299.88. And I'm doing crosshatch, fill shapes individually, and under advanced, I have flood fill. And then when I run a test, it's going to take 1 hour and 20 minutes to run these 4 coasters, which is about average. So hopefully that helps you. You can verify. You can use these other bullseyes to verify. So you use your map tool, and then you go up to each one of them in succession, and you make sure that you're centered where you want. You can move your board and whatever until you get it exactly where it's lined up as best as you can in the center of each of the areas, the 4 areas. And then you start with your center one and then work your way out. And then I always will center. I will go to the center of each of the coasters with the laser and make sure that you focus your laser and you're using the engraving, which is the highest step, at least for the Creality. And then to start it, you go in your laser tab down here at the bottom and you click start and off it goes. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully it didn't confuse you more, but that will get you going with coasters. Again, I'm going to put this file in my Gumroad shop, so check back on this video and I'll edit the description and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching.